So close. I don't know what happened.
Do you have the chat room up? I'm not watching.
Welcome to In the Loop.
We're going to restart that video here real quick.
Fan
Something happened. And there we go.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Welcome to In the Loop on Air, the only fan-sourced podcast produced by and starring its fans. Starring Clint Novak. Don't forget Randall. And of course, you. And now, here's your host, Clint Novak.
What is going on in the Loopers? My name is Clint Novak, and it is Monday evening, 8 o'clock, and yes, we are finally back. We are back, and we forgot about Randall. Where did he go? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he's in Utah. Maybe he's somewhere around here.
Today's show is going to be a little different than our normal shows. We don't have the news. We don't have the co-hosts. It's just me and this crazy guy over here, and we're going to be talking debunking Coaster Studios and In the Loop. So we're going to be going through our past predictions, talking about what we've predicted in the past for amusement parks, and then we're going to obviously show how wrong we were in those circumstances. And, I would say, some of us, we had some right predictions in there. We weren't always wrong, right?
Oh yeah. It's just, I think there's like a good, maybe third chance, 1 in 3 chance of being right.
You definitely have more right predictions than I do, but that's only because you made so many more predictions than I did. So
I'm sorry.
You had a lot of predictions. We're going to be talking about that. We also got, of course, your user-submitted videos, which that's what our show's all about, watching your videos. We got some great videos coming up. Who do we got? We got Zach, Josh, Thomas, Carter. We got some videos from you guys coming up as well. And we got the chat room open because we're live on Monday nights on YouTube. So we got the chat room open as well, where you can go over there and chat and say things. And Gavin is in there moderating for us tonight, so he will be making sure that everybody's being over in the chat room. So without further ado, it is time to check out some of our predictions that we have made. Now, I have a breakdown of the park predictions because you love doing the 5-year predictions, right? That's like your thing.
That's one of the more popular segments I did. I just because everyone was making like the predictions for next year, but a lot of these parks operate on these like 5-year plans, and so I said, what if I made that a segment? And so and it just kind of took off, and so I've done that for almost every major park in the United States at this point. Some of them are pretty old, but there's some out there.
Now, for those of the listeners here who have not participated or watched any of the Coaster Studios videos, you guys have been up for about 3 or 4 years now. You've been doing all these great, like the 5-year predictions and stuff, which I think has kind of given you a black eye with coaster enthusiasts because, again, you're making 5-year predictions. It's impossible to say what a park is going to be doing 5 years from now. So you're doing it for fun. You're not doing it as very serious, hardcore predictions, even though some of them, again, we have been right in the past, so we have got some. But you also do some great parody videos, some trip reviews, walk around the park videos. Tell us about Coaster Studios.
Yeah, so I like to consider myself the variety channel. Because kind of when I came around, everyone was just kind of doing the point of view videos, sticking the camera on the roller coaster. And so I want to come out and do something a bit different. And so that's why I kind of threw my opinion a bit in there, which I think that's why some people may not as much be a fan. They're like, well, I don't agree with you. And that's totally fine. I'm not expecting you to. But I do a bunch of the predictions, or I like filming stuff. That's one of the huge interests of mine. So I try to find the cool angles for these roller coasters, and I'll put them up there. And then I like to think I have a sense of humor, so that's where the idea to make fun of them came around. And so I put up some parodies, and I like to, I guess one of the main things I try to do is I try to not just use one specific shot of a coaster just once, because oftentimes when you have a channel, you're filming for like one specific video, and there's certainly times when I do that, but I want to try to like see what else I can use that footage for, apply it to other type of videos. Because at one point, I didn't have any footage or anything, so I was just using pictures, but I really tried to change things so it's more footage based now, and I think that definitely goes over more with people, kind of keeps it more interesting.
Awesome. Now, we're getting a lot of feedback here from the chat room. It looks like we're having some lag issues, maybe.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too.
I don't know if I think the only thing I'd be able to do is do a restart, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that or not. So,
How is it that bad?
I don't know. Everybody's saying it's bad. I'm waiting for feedback, but maybe it's so laggy they can't give me feedback. I don't know. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and continue on. So we'll go ahead and continue on. All right, so let's chat about some of our predictions that we've made. We're going to finish with King's Dominion because that's going to be the big one. It used to be both of our home parks. And you don't live in Virginia right now. You're in Utah?
No. Yeah, so what happened was I did this thing called graduating from high school. And so Kings Dominion is my home park in the summertime, and I am relocated to Utah. I'm south of Salt Lake City, so Lagoon is my home park from September till around April, which I think is kind of nice because not too many people kind of report on Lagoon, so I can kind of bring in more content for a park that doesn't get enough talk, so that's good. And there's not as many roller coasters out here, which is kind of depressing, but I mean, I don't know, you have Vegas 4 hours, maybe I'll make it down there, ride some of the coasters down there, we'll see.
Awesome. Yeah, and how close are you to you said Lagoon?
Yeah, so I'm about an hour away, and I've been once, and I'm going to be going back in about a week and a half. I haven't fully committed to the day yet. I might end up changing it, so I'm not going to go ahead and say what day it is, but it's I'm going for their haunt event, which is called Frightmares, and I've searched YouTube and I haven't been able to find really any content from Frightmares, so I have no idea what to expect. So I'm looking forward to it. It may be good, it might be bad. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Somebody said reduce the stream, so let me see if I can take care of that real quick. Let's see if we can jump it down a little bit. I don't think I can. I think it's a feature that no, it's not letting me change anything. All right, I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna have to continue on. I know it's being recorded in high quality, so we should be fine there. Here, and hopefully everything will be fixed here. So we'll see if it comes back on. So highly technical.
Yeah.
All right, everything should be popping back on here. Da 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 da. And I see us back on, so you guys will have to let us know if the lag has fixed itself, if we're good, but we're going to continue on nonetheless. Okay, so I'm really excited, though. I spent like an hour of the pre-show. Instead of preparing for an amazing show, I had this brand new audio mixer I was hooking up and getting all ready to go, so we didn't have any of the audio issues anymore, and then we have internet issues. So,
man.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, it's time to go over predictions. We've been talking about it. It's time to go over some of these predictions. I went through Coaster Studios. I looked at some of the videos, and I grabbed some of the predictions that you made. Now, you did 5-year plans. We're only going to go over 2 of the years, 16 and 17, maybe a little bit of 18.
Yeah.
But we'll look at 16 and 17, see how right you were, and then maybe we'll both together make 2018 predictions. What do you think?
Oh, I think we should. Sounds like a lot of fun. Okay,
so I think that let's give it a try. Carowinds, all right? Carowinds was the first park that actually, no, you know what? I grabbed a video off of your website. Let's put this on hold first. You did one for Six Flags, all of the Six Flags parks in 2017 before they made their big announcement. I think we should watch that and see, kind of pause it at different places and see how right you were. Do you want to do that?
Yeah,
that sounds
this is something I do every year. I always make my yearly Six Flags predictions, and sometimes they're fun, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not.
All right, so let's check it out here. We're gonna go ahead and play the video, and I'll pause it occasionally here.
Alright, it's that time of year again. It is time for me to make my predictions for what is coming to Six Flags in 2017. I'll be making my predictions for all of their parks, and we will see if they come true. A lot of the times, I am not correct with these, but that is totally okay. It's all in good fun. So let's start with Six Flags Magic Mountain. Now, there is a clearing going on by Riddler's Revenge. I actually got a chance to go ahead and take a look at the spot when I visited the park this past year. And it is a pretty large clearing, and originally one of the thoughts was it'd be for a Justice League Dark Ride. But I'm going to go ahead and say that I do not think that is what is coming. I think it is going to be a nice flat ride package, something like what Six Flags Over Texas got this year. Something like a Zamperla Frisbee like Riddler Revenge. Obviously they'd have to pick a different name, but that's the same idea. And then probably one of those second generation Enterprises. And maybe a couple other flats, because Magic Mountain really needs some good flat rides, and this would be a big improvement to the park. They could give them DC themes and everything. It'd also be really nice if they could throw in a Sky Screamer as one of those attractions. A swing ride would be absolutely perfect for that park. Next we have...
All right, so that was our first park, Magic Mountain. You said not getting Battle for Metropolis.
Which obviously was wrong.
And that was wrong. They are getting Battle for Metropolis, and you threw in a lot of crazy rides in there. The Zamperla ride, the Screaming Swing. So had a lot of ideas. But
yeah, and I still think that's eventually going to happen. I probably should throw in there. I couldn't hear anything that that video was showing, so
I know.
I don't know if that's my fault or anything, but
no, there's a really good chance it's mine, and I thought I had this fixed, but
no, it's okay. Well, I mean, luckily, I'm pretty sure from the video I can tell what it was, but we're just having all sorts of problems tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. I just had all this stuff fixed too. It's all your fault. I blame you.
I know. I ruined everything.
All right, so but we'll continue on. It sucks because I just had the audio working too. You heard it earlier, and now that was an issue we were having last week. So, all right, let's continue on.
Adventure in Over Georgia, both of which are going to be receiving a Justice League Battle for Metropolis Dark Ride. And this isn't really a prediction because we actually know it's going to happen. Both parks filed for a permit to add the building for it. Both of them have the space cleared already, so we already know that it's going to happen. Over Georgia's will be going right where their bumper cars were, and Great Adventures is going to go where the chiller was. Next, we have Six Flags.
All right, so that was a correct prediction.
Yeah, and that was plain as day. Everyone knew that was happening.
Right. So you're not taking any credit for that.
Information release. So that wasn't a hard one, and I don't know if that was as much a prediction as it was we knew it was going to happen. They didn't do a good job at hiding that.
On to Six Flags Great America up in Chicago.
And ever since they removed Raging Cajun, every year following, I have always made a prediction that something is going to go where that ride once was. Since the building is still up, the queue line is still there. And since every year I'm wrong and that space is still empty, why stop with tradition? Next year I am going to say they're going to add a super loop that is going to go where Raging Cajun once was. In years past, I've thought it was going to be a Sky Screamer, but I'm thinking this time it's actually going to be a super loop. Six Flags has been adding these at their parks for 2 years now, so it'd make perfect sense for them to add some more next year, and Great America wouldn't be a bad location for one. And they could even give it a Mardi Gras theme so they don't have to change a whole lot. I could totally see something like that happening. Next week.
All right, so Great America getting a Fireball Larson Looper. Larson Loopers are life. Not quite on the prediction there. They're getting the Joker coaster.
I was surprised we didn't see any super loops this year. I mean, I think that's a good thing, but I'd like to add, I got the location right. Finally we know what's going there. So.
The location is correct. They finally got something going in there, and they're doing the Joker, the spin coaster. So. All right, let's see what Fiesta Texas you have.
Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and this is a tough one. And it's only tough because
this one's a long
Jeffrey
one.
Siebert, who is one of the head guys at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, posted this photo with a survey marker on top of the quarry wall with hashtag 2017 and captioned it, "View looks pretty good up here." Through Google Earth, I've been able to pinpoint approximately where he was standing. And it is a very difficult location for me to pinpoint what sort of attraction could go there because the options are kind of limited. Because it's on top of the wall, it's not going to be a flat ride. They aren't going to build a flat ride up there because how are the guests going to get there? And I would say some sort of zip line that takes you up to the top, but they already have that. So what can they have start at the bottom and go up to the quarry and back down? A roller coaster would do that. So that brings us to the question, would Six Flags add a roller coaster here after they just got Batman the Ride not too long ago? And if that's the case, what sort of attraction would they add here? Because they already have an RMC and they already have an SNS 4D free spin, which are the two types of rides that Six Flags has been adding lately. So, what sort of thing would they do there? And then also you have to think of the space that they are working with, because approximately where that picture was taken, it's right above where they do their Lone Star Nights projection during the summer. So I'm not sure if this ride would affect that or not, or if Fiesta Texas would want that to be affected, because that is a really cool event they do every night. And I'm going to assume that that is the location of where the 2017 attraction is going to be, because there is a survey marker in that picture. Now, it's possible that Jeffrey could be messing with us, but something tells me that he's right. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and make my prediction. I'm going to say they're going to be adding a B&M next year. Will they? Probably not, but why not? It's a prediction video.
Just stop that right there. Okay, so obviously they didn't get a roller coaster. Okay, but they got a water coaster, so...
Yeah, it's kind of like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it has the word coaster, but I'd like to point out, I have not heard anyone correctly predict what Fiesta Texas is getting. I think that threw off everyone. I think everyone was surprised about that.
Now, is the water coaster going up there, or was that
No,
just...
it's not. That
so
picture-
he was,
it was
that's it. Thanks, Jeff.
The picture was wrong.
Oh, man.
That it was a total throw us for a loop. That was totally off, and so...
I think he lied to us. That's just yeah. It seems like a trend with PR people, because King's Dominion, I think, threw us through a loop too by throwing the Snoopy, hurler stuff at us. I don't even want to talk about it yet. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Right, you guys are going to be like, how on earth
this doesn't get much better.
This is going to be...
that was a long one.
Talk about roller coasters, and it's none of them.
And I
not
think
a
eventually
dive,
they will
not a
get one
wing.
of those attractions.
Even though we all wanted there.
Did I go too far?
Getting it.
Discovery Kingdom?
Interact with the quarry wall next year. I might be way wrong, but if I am, that is totally okay. Next, let's go over to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. And this is tough because this park has a 150-foot height limit, so it's kind of tricky predicting what would go here. Now, of course, an SNS 4D free spin would be within that height limit, and I think eventually they will get one of those attractions, but I don't think it's going to be next year. They just got the Joker this year. They're not getting a coaster next year. But what would be a good fit here is a drop tower. Yes, it would only be 150 feet high, but like an Intamin or SNS drop tower would be absolutely a perfect fit at this park. That's a major type of attraction that they are missing. If they don't do that, then maybe they'll do a Zamperla Frisbee. That would also work. Now
all right, they're doing the Frisbee. So that you got that right at the end there. You threw it in. Oh, right. And also maybe this.
Need a drop tower, but if I could go ahead and make a 2018 prediction, okay, I don't know how much weight this is going to hold.
All right.
But I talked about how I don't think they were going to get a free spin because they just got Joker. But we've seen parks like Great America get roller coasters after like just skipping a year. So I think there's a very good chance that Discovery Kingdom could get one of those free spins, because it'd be the only one on the West Coast, and they're super compact, and it's below the height limit. I think it's only a matter of time before they get one of those.
Now, Great Adventure did two coasters in a row. They did El Toro and King Dakar back to back. So
right, which I mean, that's all the park is about now. So
there you go. Exactly, they're two best coasters
for El Toro and King Dakar.
There you go. All right, let's see what's the next prediction.
That's a good year to be a Great Adventure local.
Into one segment, I have over Texas, New England, and St. Louis. All three of which I'm going to say are going to be getting an SNS 4D free spin.
All right, so hold on. I need to catch up with this here. You said over Texas. You got that right.
Yes.
St. Louis, that was incorrect.
I'm still bummed at what St. Louis got. I think they need something.
Spinsanity.
Yeah, that was a disappointment.
And what was the other? What was the other park?
Two of the three right.
I missed the other park you said in there. I need to rewind.
It was New England.
New England. Oh, okay. So you got that right. So the only one you got wrong in that one was St. Louis.
Now talk about location.
And I think it's still possible that they could get one of these. So if they get a free spin next year, it's totally possible. In my opinion.
I think all Six Flags parks will eventually have it.
I think that their free spin is.
Which they'd get a different layout, but whatever.
They already have a fence up. They have some space back there. It would absolutely work. and they could give it a DC theme, and it would be all good. Moving over to New England, there have been rumors that Splashwater Falls is going to bite the dust. That is a narrow strip of land that Six Flags New England could absolutely fit a 40 free spin there. And with Six Flags St. Louis, this I think has two possible locations, Tidal Wave or their Boomerang. Yes, I'm predicting one of those two rides is going to bite the dust. Now, it is possible that Six Flags St. Louis could find a location for this where they don't have to remove anything, but if they have to remove an attraction, I could see Tidal Wave leaving, but I could also see their Boomerang leaving because it just had an accident where it derailed, and so it's been closed for a while, and I wouldn't be surprised if Six Flags St. Louis doesn't want it anymore, even though they haven't had it for very long, and they decide to send it to another Six Flags park. Keep in mind, this was already at Six Flags Over Texas, and yes, I am predicting that they might send it to another Six Flags park. I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to happen, but it wouldn't really surprise me.
I wouldn't be surprised if Six Flags America gets that.
Now, what Six Flags
Yeah.
park would they send
Now,
it to?
I don't think it's that far-fetched that they could eventually one day remove the Boomerang. I mean, that one's just had some bad luck just traveling around to these different parks. I mean, obviously they did just get it not too long ago, but I don't know, accidents and stuff like that never make people want to go and ride it. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if one day that happens, but if they end up just getting back up and running, hey, that's totally fine.
Awesome. All right, continuing on. Six Flags
Not
America.
receive Six Flags St. Louis's Boomerang. I could see Six Flags America getting like a Looney Tunes expansion, a couple of kids rides, retheme it to Bugs Bunny Boomtown or something like that. And next we have Six Flags Mexico.
Okay, so Six Flags America, you were predicting a Looney Tunes expansion, but they are getting the Starflyer. So,
Which that was something I was so happy about, because that was something that, like, if you go back to a 5-year plan for Six Flags America, I think that was one of like my original predictions for 2016 or 2017 or something.
You're fast forwarding. We're going to talk about that, but yeah, you said 2016.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I'm very glad that they ended up getting that. But oh well. I was right originally.
All right, and I got a couple coasters
And
left here.
LaRonde, both of which I think are going to be getting a Larson's Super Loop. I know over at LaRonde we would all love to see the monster get RMC'd, but if that were going to happen, we would have heard it was closing by now. And frankly, I don't think any RMC conversions are going to be coming to Six Flags next year. It doesn't even sound to me like any RMCs period are coming to Six Flags next year. I'd love to be proven wrong, but that's just what it sounds like to me, and I certainly would be surprised if an RMC is announced for Six Flags next year. And finally, we have the Great Escape. And why do I get...
All right, so LaRonde, that they're getting the Titan, which is the Frisbee ride.
The Frisbee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
the
okay.
feeling that they're not going to be
Comet.
getting anything
I like that
large.
more parks are getting Frisbees.
Yeah.
That's certainly good.
They haven't
And
gotten
I think they're
anything
way
huge
better than
in
Super
years,
Loops.
so why start-
Frankly, I'm glad no more Super Loops are
Rider
coming.
two.
Or at
They
least
just
so
got
it
a
seems.
Super Loop, so probably not a thrilling flat ride. Maybe a water park expansion. By water park expansion, I mean maybe a kiddie splash pad. But frankly, I'd be surprised if they got anything huge too. So
you
those
got that
are
one
my
right.
Predictions for
There you
Six
go.
Flags.
Yeah, I did mention that. So it's sort of.
Yeah, that's not sort of. You got the water park expansion. You threw it in there, so that's we'll count
threw it in there.
We'll
Just
count it.
mentioned it.
All right, so let's talk some of the other parks here. Now these are predictions you made 2 years ago, because you would have been making these predictions in 2015. We're now going back to see how accurate you were in your guesses, and I would love to pick this up again 2 years from now with these same 5-year plans that you put together, just to see if anything in the long term ended up panning out. Because I think it's pretty. It's not easy, but it's the easiest to predict what you're going to get next year. But to predict what you're going to get 5 years, that's kind of crazy. So
Right, and that's what makes it difficult, especially when I'm doing these newer ones and I'm predicting up to 2021. It's like they could be getting a ride that doesn't even exist right now. So it's not easy, but some of them come true, and it always blows my mind when something like that happens.
Awesome. All right, first one's Carowinds. We're going to talk 2016. You said water park. They had the prediction of Splash. They got a water park, so that was correct. But you got they already said they were going to make a big splash, so you knew something water related was coming.
Well, as soon as they said big splash, I think everyone knew water park expansion. I think it just depended on the degree to what the water expansion would be.
Yeah, and it was in the location too. Helped a lot because if they're getting rid of Thunder Road, obviously right after a retracking, that was obviously a pretty strong signal as to what was going to be going in. So
right, you figured whatever it was going to go and take up some of the land from Thunder Road.
Mm-hmm. And 2017, you thought Vortex was going to go floorless.
I think that's going to happen next year.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So you're saying 2018 Vortex goes floorless.
Let's go for it.
I wouldn't be surprised on that one because, they're already doing it, with the second coaster now. I wouldn't be surprised if Vortex is it in the future. They ended up getting some flat rides in the new themed area, the county fair area. Oh, man, if I had to predict 2018 for Carowinds, the floorless coaster is a good idea.
Yeah, just repaint, rename. Pull Patriot.
I'm gonna pull a Coaster Studios and say they're getting a Triotech Dark Ride. That's what I'm gonna do. And you'll understand why coming up in a minute here when we go through all these other predictions.
I was very surprised. No parks got a Triotech this year. That was a big surprise.
Yeah, because we definitely thought that was going to be happening at some of the Cedar Fair parks.
Well, when you say that every park is going to eventually get a Triotech or like something like it, and it doesn't, and not a single one comes next year. I think that kind of threw people off.
Yeah, they're expensive though, so we'll see what happens. If Carowinds definitely has, I think they get the money, so I think that they'll probably get it. Cedar Point, you predicted a dive coaster in 2016. It was already leaked.
I feel like that was a gimme.
Yeah, because that was already leaked at that point that they were getting the dive coaster. And then you said 2017 Triotech Dark Ride, and they got a water park expansion with a new name for their water park. Very important to make sure that we know that they got a new name for their water park. So, what do you think? 2018 Cedar Point? What do you think?
2008. I think it's whatever is happening with Mean Streak.
Yeah,
clearly
RMC.
Whatever's going on is not 2017.
No.
I don't think it would be.
No.
So I think 2018 is probably redone Mean Streak, or Mean Streak is paved and something goes in its spot.
Yep, I think we're seeing an RMC overview of it. So
yeah, I'll jump on that bandwagon too. Something along those lines.
Definitely. All right, let's check out Busch Gardens Williamsburg in 2016. You thought they were going to be getting some flat rides. They did not get anything except a new show, which the new shows are expensive.
New shows, right.
So, yeah, and the new show is really good, the Three Musketeers show. All for one, they call it. And I only had a chance to see it once. I went to try to see it twice. But, yeah, really, really good show and really expensive kind of thing. So, big set.
I didn't mind not having flats. I thought the show was spectacular.
Yeah, and it's a Busch Gardens thing. They don't add a ride every year, so it's hard to predict Busch Gardens because of that.
Yeah,
they're not always adding.
They'll go some years where they don't build anything. Mm-hmm. So that's a bit tricky because sometimes you just have to say, I think this year they're not getting anything.
Yeah, exactly. And you predicted Starflyer for 2017, and they're getting a GCI Woody.
They should get that at some point.
Yes,
but we'll see.
I think they could replace the Mock Tower with it because I hate the Mock Tower.
That thing is so bad.
All right, let's hear Magic Mountain. Magic Mountain, you predicted in 2016 was going to be getting some flat rides. And,
which I'd like to move to 2018, I think.
Okay, so you think 2018 they're getting flat rides. They ended up doing a renovation on Revolution in 2016, which predicted for 2017. So you said they were getting that in 2017. They ended up getting that in 2016, and then they got a Justice League for 2017.
And for 2018, I predicted a Justice League. So the Revolution and
threw everything
Justice League,
off.
I was 1 year behind with both of them.
Threw everything off. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man, 2018 for me. What do I think they're going to get?
A lot of people are saying roller coaster. I'm hearing like removal of Viper or like some B&M or something.
Yeah, I would probably say big B&M coaster. I think they deserve it.
Yeah, it's just will Six Flags spend the capital on that? Because clearly they're on kind of a free spin Rampage. I don't know if they're willing to drop a B&M on
they have to save their money somehow, so that's how they're doing it. They're doing all the small stuff. Six Flags America, you predicted in 2016 would be getting a Star Flyer, and they got the Fireball themed to the Mardi Gras area there. And in 2017, you say Roar RMC, and they got a Star Flyer. So does that mean next year we're going to see a Roar RMC?
Well, if it's anything like Magic Mountain, I think there's a chance for it. It's just this year we didn't see any RMCs, so that begs the question, is this just a year off for Six Flags RMCs, or are they going to pick back up and put in another one next year?
So what's your thought? Are they going to get that? Are they going to get the spin coaster? What's your 2018 prediction right here, right now?
Man, putting me on the spot. I think RMC Roar would be spectacular. I'd love having an RMC that close. But a free spin, I mean, they're cheaper and small footprint. I'll go RMC. We'll see what happens.
Going RMC? You know, I would love it. I'm going to go RMC too. Can we cheat? Can we both ride that? I'm going to go RMC.
Yeah. No, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I
know that's not what they're going to get. They're going to get the used boomerang from, wherever that was, Six Flags La Ronde or something like that, or whatever. That's what we're getting. But RMC is what I want.
If they ever do RMC Roar, I mean, let's be real here. They'll probably name it the Joker. Just cause they can.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The whole park is going to be Justice League themed by the time they're done. So
yeah.
All right. So Dollywood. Moving on to Dollywood. You now at that point they already made the announcement that they're putting a huge investment in.
They said $22 million, but they didn't say what it was.
Exactly. And so you went with Steel Coaster, and you even said in that video, you said they were not going to go wood because it was too expensive. So you said not a wood coaster, it has to be steel. And you said it was going to take over their car ride, which they didn't take over their car ride. And we now know that it was nothing in 2016, and it went lightning rod in 2017 because, you can't count it if it's only open for 3 months. So
I'm trying to ride it this year, but we'll see what happens. But I mean, one thing I would like to mention was that the location wasn't too far off, and one of the things I said was B&M Hyper, which is a coaster about airtime. We got a coaster about airtime, so I don't know. Throw me a bone, maybe.
All right, you did, but you know what? I would say, okay, I'll give it to you if you got 2017, which you didn't. You said flat rides are getting water parks, so you do not know Dollywood as well as you think you should, sir.
All right, way wrong.
Way wrong on Dollywood. Kings Island, you predicted 2016 that Triotech would be moving into the Tomb Raider ride.
Still think that'll happen at some point.
They put in water slides. And then you thought thrilling flat ride in 2017. They built the GCI Woody. And you said in 2018 GCI Woody, and there you go. So
I was off by a year.
Yeah, they're throwing in the
Not
GCI
bad.
Woody. So I'm excited about that too. That really, Mystic Timbers is one of the only big coasters being built next year. And
Let's
you really
be real, it is the only big coaster coming to the United States.
No, Busch Gardens Williamsburg's also building a GCI, but it's funny that
I
only
said
two
big
coasters.
Coaster, Clint.
Hey!
I said big.
Oh! I'm going to call
Now,
Adam
okay,
House up
hold
right
on,
now.
Did you hear about this? This is something I just heard about, I think, yesterday. Casino Pier in New Jersey is getting like a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster, like Monster or something.
Huh? Wow.
Which this is like I've been to this place. It's on a literal pier, so it might be something like Iron Shark, I guess. But I just heard about that. But that sounds like probably the second largest coaster coming next year.
Wow, that's crazy.
And it's to a park most people haven't been to.
Yeah, exactly. Now, King's Dominion. This is the last park predictions we have. This is one where I get to participate in because I made some hefty predictions in the last 6 or 7 years. We're going to go with yours first. You said in 2016, inverted coaster, much like Banshee. They went Delirium. Then you said Triotech, possibly in Volcano. They went Planet Snoopy.
That would have been cool, but apparently that's impossible.
Yeah.
So that probably won't happen.
No,
ever.
no. I think if we get a Tryotech, it's not going to be in the volcano. It's going to be a
But
standalone
think
building.
how cool that would have been.
No, it's impossible. Have you been in the volcano?
I've gotten 2 rollbacks on it. Yes, I've been in the
So
volcano.
you know that it's impossible because there's
Yeah.
support structure everywhere. So
Yeah, it's not possible, and I don't think I realized that when I made that prediction.
yeah, because you didn't have your rollbacks yet. So
That's true.
all right, and in 2018, you're predicting a Sky Ride and Family Rides. Now again, this was 3 years ago. So did you want to update your prediction?
Yeah. I don't think a Skyride will be coming to any park anytime soon.
Ever?
Yeah. As much as it would be great, not gonna happen.
I'll let you sit on your prediction a little bit. Let's talk about my predictions.
Yeah.
In 2013, they built Planet Snoopy, and they build this as the big what do they call it? World
Bigger,
record
better.
breaking. The world record breaking announcement. And
Yeah.
right out of the get-go, that April, I started saying they're building a new Planet Snoopy, and nobody would listen to me. And all the
It's
way
like
through
roller
that,
coaster.
they're like, oh, they're building a new roller coaster. It's gonna be huge. I'm like, guys, it's Planet Snoopy. I know it's Planet
I'll
Snoopy. It's Planet
admit,
Snoopy.
At the time, I thought it was gonna be a roller coaster too. So
Okay, and
I'm
then the
impressed that you got that right. That's
announcement
very
it came out. They
impressive.
said bigger, better Planet Snoopy, and I got to do the I was right and you're wrong.
And I was one of the people like, what? That's it?
Yeah, exactly. So then I said the next year we were going to be getting water park expansion and water rides, water slides. And they didn't get that. They got the 40th anniversary Singing Mushrooms and the 40th anniversary celebration. But
Yeah,
the
so
year
off
after,
by a year.
yeah, the year after they did get water slides. And in that year, 2 months prior to them announcing, I broke the news that Shockwave would be closing. So I better take credit for that because I did come out and say Shockwave would be being removed in the 2015 season. I was correct about that.
Yeah,
So-
that was great. When the announcement came, I was like, Clint was right. What?
Wah, wah, wah. That's kind of a bittersweet one, though. People would be like, "Hey, Clint was right," and most people are like, "No," and cry.
I don't miss it. Now, maybe
Neither
in
do I.
5 years, I'll say it would have been nice to ride it again, but I don't miss it. But you just need to find a new roller coaster to ride in a dress now. So
Exactly. All right, so this year I was predicting, for this year I was predicting that they're going to be getting the Apple turnover. I said it in the video, and I believe I also said maybe the new Enterprise version, and instead they got Delirium, so I was incorrect about that.
but Delirium's great.
Yeah,
think
I like
it's
Delirium.
great
I got a
addition.
chance to ride it finally, and then I was saying going into 2017, a couple years ago, I made the prediction we're getting our big coaster. The agreement with B&M and Busch Gardens was going to be up, and that was our big year. And then I changed that at before the announcement, about 2 weeks before the announcement, and I said we're probably getting Winterfest. Plants vs. Zombies, and we're getting the Valley Fair Enterprise for Apple turnover. And I was even
You're
shocked
just
when they
obsessed with
announced.
this planet with this Apple turnover.
I know. And then I
You
was
want it
shocked.
back.
I was shocked and amazed when they went with another Planet Snoopy upgrade. I think we all were. We were all a little
That
bit.
that ruined my day, man.
Yeah, exactly. So very, very sad. We got the Planet Snoopy, and so 2018. I think I'm still going to sit on the fact that we're going to announce Winterfest for 2019.
Yes, I agree with that. I
And,
think we'll get Winterfest.
Yeah, and we're going to. I'm still guessing that we're getting a Valley Fair's Apple turnover because it hasn't been announced for any other park. So those are my predictions. I'm going to stand on
so?
those predictions. Yeah, because I think King's Dominion's got themselves into this nostalgic kick. 240th anniversaries and all this stuff. I think they're gonna bring it back.
Now, what do you think's going on with Hurler? What's your prediction for that?
Retracking.
Just that?
Not RMC. Not RMC. I think
No
they,
RMC.
I think they in the announcement, everybody grabbed that last slide that said "really more coming."
Really more coming.
And I honestly
Ooh.
think that was them saying that was the theme of their announcement is, oh, look, see, there really was more coming. And they announced, oh, but wait, there's more. Oh, but wait, there's more. And the more was never bigger than the original announcement. And it was always building up to nothing. So by them saying really more coming, I think that was them saying that was the theme of their announcement, not them trying to tease a RMC treatment to Hurler. So I honestly
don't believe this RMC thing one
no.
bit.
At this point, nothing has happened with Hurler. The train is still sitting in the station. Like, it hasn't gone down for refurbishment or anything. It's still sitting in the station. And the only change I've seen with Hurler is one of the walls that usually has like tarps that equal its back wall, because they never actually had a back wall.
Yeah,
they
I saw a
removed
picture
those.
of that.
Yeah, those are gone. So. Yeah, I don't think it's getting RMC. What do you think?
I think it'll reopen. Oh, when the more they built it up, and they started teasing Hurler, which I still think was dumb of them. But I was for a moment, I was definitely on board with like the whole RMC thing. I thought that like Hurler would kind of be the test before they RMC Mean Streak. Like it made sense on paper, and then turns out they teased Hurler for nothing. So. I think at this point we'll just throw that out. It'll just reopen like normal, and everyone will be so confused why they closed it. But I'll steal your B&M idea. I think they'll get a roller coaster 2018. I want it.
We can say it every year. Eventually, we'll be right?
Eventually, we're gonna be right. It might not be next year, but if we just keep predicting eventually we'll get it.
Eventually we're gonna get it. All right, so
yeah.
There we go. Debunking Coaster Studios and In the Loop. Going over our past predictions, and maybe 2 years from now, we'll pick up where we left off and look at those 2015 predictions to see how well you did with the 5-year expansion plans for all the parks. So,
and I'd like to point out, I don't think it's that bad if you get a prediction wrong, because I mean, making predictions is not easy.
Why do you're not yelling at weathermen every day? They get predictions wrong all the time. So this is just I think it's fun.
It's more you expect it to be wrong, but if it's right, then you're super impressed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of the whole deal with predictions. So that's why I make them, because it's just fun, and if it comes true, then that is going to be amazing.
Awesome. All right, we have some fan videos to watch. I'm going to keep you around so we can watch these fan videos, talk about where they're at, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. So we've got 4 fan videos we're going to be watching today. Carter is checking in from somewhere, I think Belmont. Let's check in with Carter, see where he's at.
In the Loop on Air fans, it's Carter checking in from Belmont Park, and we're actually in a different location. We're in the museum for the Giant Dipper roller coaster. It used to be named Earthquake. I'm about to go ride, and yes, so let me go ride, and I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. What's going on in the Loop on Air? Okay guys, so I invite you on the Giant Dipper roller coaster here at Belmont Park, and we're about to ride, so shut up, we're gonna ride, and see you on the other side.
At all times, please secure all loose articles and enjoy your ride. Welcome back. Please lift up on your lap bars and exit to the back of the train. Enjoy the rest of your stay.
So I just got off of the Giant Dipper roller coaster here at Belmont Park, and I have to say, it's riding decent. It's still a little rough. Has a lot of lateral forces, some good airtime moments, a little airtime, but not too. It's not riding too bad. But anyway, it's been Carter and Ben.
Hi, cameraman.
From Belmont Park, and we'll see you on the Midway. See ya! And Asberries.
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 Asberries. Asberries.
I don't even know what's going on in that video at that point.
Have you been up to Belmont Park?
No, I don't even know where it is. Is it California?
Yeah, so it's about 5 minutes from San Diego. I actually got to visit it this summer, so I totally relate. This park is really cool. I mean, they have the model of the Giant Dipper there. I mean, it's very small, but it's like right, Pacific Ocean right there. and they have a couple other rides there, but the Giant Dipper is kind of the main thing. It's not a bad place at all. I thought the ride wasn't bad, and it's just kind of a neat place because of like how historic it is.
Awesome. Could you hear the video this time, or was it?
I heard a little bit towards the end, so I was mainly relying on movements.
Movements. Okay. Well, he rode a roller coaster. We know that much.
Yeah, and I identify with what I was seeing, but unfortunately, I can't hear anything.
All right. So we're gonna have that fixed hopefully someday, and along with the leg, because everybody's talking about the leg.
Maybe in 2 years at the next live stream.
We got this.
We'll
we got
figure it
this.
out.
All right, Thomas checking in. Let's check out where Thomas is at.
Thomas checking in from In the Loop on Air, and today we're here at Six Flags Great Adventure and Wild Safari. We're here at Pizarro in the backstage area. We're here at the American Coaster Enthusiast New England Region's Riding the Bolt Ocho, which is the world's largest attended ACE event with over 400 attendees this year. But it was annoying with me because... And as you can see here, the B&M floorless coaster, Bizarro, is going up the lift hill. It was so annoying because I found out like a week later someone got their cup stolen at the finger. I'm Thomas Chicken from Six Flags Great Adventure and Safari, and we'll see you on the Midway.
I feel like he teased us. He showed us the underbelly of the coaster, but we never saw the coaster actually go. That was Bizarro at Six Flags Great Adventure during the ACE meetup they had there.
That's cool. I love behind the scenes tours. Like they're awesome. I love whenever you have an opportunity to take a behind the scenes tour.
See, I always get bored on behind the scenes tours. I would rather just be riding the roller coaster. Is what I would rather. Yeah, I maybe it's because I've done so many of them at this point. Like I've done the at Six Flags Great Adventure alone. I've done the walk by El Toro, King de Cobb before they put Kilimanjaro out there or Zumanjaro. I've done the Nitro walk back. I've done all these walk backs, so I've done it.
I do a Nitro walk back so bad. That'd be sweet.
It's all right.
Like them. I like them because of like you can find the cool angles and you have opportunities to film them. And I don't know. I guess as coming from someone who
I'm gonna say this right now. From all of the experience I've had with In the Loop, angles don't matter. They don't.
I love them though.
We have had the most amazingly produced videos that get no hits whatsoever, and then our cell phone footage of a shaky camera looking through a crack in a wall at a construction site will get 30 million hits. So it's crazy what gets the hits and what doesn't.
It satisfies me though to go and find these like cool shots of roller coasters, and I don't know, maybe that's just because I like what I do, and so man.
All right, up next we have Josh checking in from I don't think he's checking in from anywhere. He's doing kind of a end of the season recap.
What's up In the Loop on Air? It's Josh. Well, the season has come to an end, and so has my summer of coasters. And this summer was special to me because it is the first time I've ever ventured away from my home park to visit various world-class theme parks, and the whole time I got to share my experiences with you. My summer started with a trip to my home park, Six Flags Great America, where I went on an off day in the middle of May, and I was able to ride all the coasters at least 3 times, which if you have ever been to Six Flags Great America, you know never happens. A few weeks later, I got to experience Cedar Point for the second time in my life, and I still cannot get enough of this park. It's got many world-class coasters, a friendly staff, and a very beautiful setting. But my next stop was by far my favorite. Dollywood. Dollywood has been a park that I've been wanting to visit for many years, and I've never had the chance to visit. But with the opening of Lightning Rod this season, I finally had an excuse to go. And while I may have arrived at Dollywood a day after the restraints got recalled, I still had a wonderful time. But Dollywood is not an amusement park. It's a theme park. Nearly every ride there has a story of some sort, and helps to give the park its charming feeling. The food and the shows there are also fantastic as well. After Dollywood, I didn't visit another park for about a month until I went to Adventureland in Iowa. And Adventureland is a park that I grew up going to every year along with the Iowa State Fair. But due to its small ride collection, I haven't been there in about 8 years. But this year, the addition of Monster finally gave me a reason to go back. And I was very surprised by the Monster. It let me experience things I had never experienced before on a roller coaster. Most notably, very long moments of hang time. And the Monster is definitely the best Gerstlauer I've ever ridden.
Monster's open.
My summer ended with a trip to Nickelodeon Universe at Mall of America this past Labor Day weekend. Nickelodeon Universe is unique in that the whole park is inside a shopping mall and open year-round. And this requires some very creative engineering. All the rides within the park intertwine with both each other and the structure of the building itself to create this maze of steel and track. It's really cool. The flat rides all appear to get within a foot of the support columns, the ceiling, and each other. And my summer may be over, but haunt time is here, so I may have a video or two from that. And Clint, if you're ever looking for a guest host, I am available. So until next time, this is Josh, and I'll catch you.
Love alpine coasters.
All right, that is Josh checking in, telling us about his summer of coasters, and a lot of interesting stops there. Obviously, Dollywood. He points out Cedar Point being one of his favorites as well. The one that he pointed out that I loved is the Mall of America. Nick Universe there, because that's where I grew up. That was my stomping grounds when I was a kid. So.
That's one of the places I still need to get to.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Check it out one day. What I liked was I met Josh the day he was at Adventureland, and so clearly he shot that video before I got there, because when I got there, Monster was down all day, so I didn't get to ride it. And in the background, it shows him going there, so I'm like, oh man, it's like proof that it was open the day that I was there. Just missed it. Such a bummer. I missed the Mall of America, so I need to get up there again some point and check it out. But looks like a nice place, and now you got another one coming in New Jersey.
Everybody's posting about this, going crazy, and I'm like, guys, there's already one of these. It's in Minnesota, and they're like, well, it's in Minnesota. That's where I don't go. I'm like, geez, come on, guys.
Never goes to New Jersey.
Yeah, who wants to go to New Jersey? Yeah.
Last New York, I don't know.
Last video we got is I believe his name's Zach. He doesn't say it at the beginning of the video, but I think his name's Zach.
Up in the Loop on Air YouTube land, I am here at Kennywood, where I just got some of these delicious looking fried Oreos right here. Heck yeah. I have never had these before in my entire life, because usually when I go to parks like Six Flags, they're like $6, but here they're free, so let's see.
Oh man.
Deep fried Oreo goodness.
They're messy, but delicious. Anyway, the rest of Kennywood is actually pretty cool. The Phantom's Revenge is definitely the best steel coaster in Pennsylvania. It really does feel like you're going to be thrown out of your seat, which in today's world, with other hyper coasters, in my opinion, is a lost art. But, looks so good. But everything else here is pretty good too. The wooden roller coasters also have that feeling. It's very unique park. Little things like they allow you to take coolers and everything like that into the park. So you can take Papa John's into the park if you feel like it. But I would say the only small disappointment was Skyrock, and that's just because it was completely forces. But it was so good. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good evening. And good night. I'll see you later.
All right. He says that Skyrocket was completely forceless, and big disappointment. I thought it was the opposite. I walked in there not expecting anything and actually liked that coaster. So
Skyrocket at Kennywood?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so forceless, dude.
Yeah, you see, I guess I went in there just with that opinion of, this ride's going to be nothing, and then I was like, it looks neat, and it was fine.
It wasn't bad. Phantom's Revenge, though. Just watching him eat the food.
The deep fried Oreo. Deep fried
if you're going to
Oreos.
send a video of you eating food, it's going to make us want some too. So I want to go out and get a fried Oreo right now.
Well, now is the time to do so because we have finally hit the end of the show. So I want to thank you for stopping by and chatting with us.
Yeah,
This was
thanks
fun.
for having me.
Yeah, everybody always yells at me for mispredicting King's Dominion, and so it's fun to poke fun at each other and say
it shows that we're all wrong at some point.
Exactly. And hey, congratulations! You now also do some writing for the Huffington Post.
Yes, yeah. So just to do a quick plug, I partnered up with Huffington Post to bring articles whenever I want. I'm trying to make them about weekly, and so I guess if you look at how you have Arthur Levine from About.com kind of doing the theme park stuff, so now I'm doing the theme park post for Huffington Post. So go and check it out. If you just go to any one of my videos within the past 2 or 3 weeks, you'll find a link to my page in there, and it's so cool. It's totally awesome. I'm super happy to be able to do it.
Yeah, that is a really, really cool, once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. It's really neat that came about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's nice also because I didn't have any form of website, and so for people who are saying you should make a blog, well, I still don't have a website, but now I'm compensating, kind of creating content in non-video form. So for those of you who are in school and you can't watch a video because of the sound, now you can read some articles, and so it's totally awesome. I really like it.
Awesome. Good deal. All right, that does it for the show today. Thank you very much for stopping by.